The asteroid belt, a failed planet. If I asked you to imagine the asteroid belt, you will probably picture a spaceship desperately dodging rocks, alarms blaring, and pilots screaming. That image is everywhere and it is completely wrong. In reality, you could fly straight through the asteroid belt for millions of kilometers and probably never see a single asteroid. So, today, let us talk about what the asteroid belt really is. Because it is not just a collection of rocks, it is a cosmic fossil, a graveyard of a planet that almost existed, a frozen snapshot of how our solar system was born. Let us start with something odd. When you look at the inner solar system, we have planets like Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. And then suddenly there is nothing. And then Jupiter, a monster planet more massive than all others combined. Between Mars and Jupiter is a huge empty region. Early astronomers noticed this and thought there should be a planet here. And they were not being mystical, they were being logical. The spacing of planets followed a pattern. So scientists started searching, and instead of a planet, they found thousands of rocky bodies and later millions. This region became known as the asteroid belt. The asteroid belt is not dense. On an average, asteroids are hundreds of thousands of kilometers apart, sometimes millions of kilometers apart. The total mass of the entire belt is less than 5% of Earth's moon. It is not a wall of rocks, it's mostly empty space. If the Earth were shrunk to the size of a marble, the nearest asteroid would be kilometers away. To understand the asteroid belt, we have to go back 4.6 billion years. The sun had just formed. Around it was a gas of disk, dust, ice, and microscopic grains. This disk of gas was the raw material of planets. Dust clumped, clumps collided, collisions formed larger bodies. These became planetary embryos. This is how the Earth was born. And in the region between Mars and Jupiter, the same thing should have happened. There should have been a planet, but it didn't. Why? Because of Jupiter, the cosmic bully. Jupiter is enormous. Its gravity is terrifying. As planetary embryos in the asteroid belt region tried to form, Jupiter kept interfering. It tugged them, it destabilized their orbits, it increased collision speeds. Instead of gentle mergers, there were violent smash ups. Every time something tried to become a planet, Jupiter ruined the process. So instead of one large planet, we get fragments, rubble, and leftovers. The asteroid belt is not a destroyed planet, it is a failed planet, a construction project that never finished. Here is the part that would make you pause. Most asteroids have not changed significantly in 4.5 billion years. They are older than the Earth's oceans. They are older than life, older than even continents. They are raw planetary material, frozen in time. When meteoroids fall on Earth, you're not just seeing a rock, you're touching the bird debris of the solar system. Some contain organic molecules, amino acids, and water bearing minerals. Asteroids may have helped seed Earth with the ingredients for life, also called panspermia. In a way, the asteroid belt helped make you and me possible. However, not all the asteroids are same. There are different types of asteroids. There are rocky asteroids. There are metal-rich asteroids like iron, nickel, etc. And there are carbon-rich asteroids, which are dark, ancient, and organic. Some are remnants of shattered bodies. Some are untouched leftovers from the solar nebula. Some are rubble piles barely held together by gravity. Others are solid monoliths. Each one tells a different chapter of the solar system's early chaos. And then there was the almost planet. Hidden inside the asteroid belt is something special. A world large enough to be round. A world with ice. A world with ancient oceans beneath its surface. This object is Ceres. Ceres is a dwarf planet. a planetary embryo that almost made it but failed at the last moment. It is a reminder that the line between a planet and a non planet is very thin. If Jupiter hadn't existed, Ceres might have grown into a full fledged world. Instead, it remains a lonely survivor. Asteroids are not just ancient relics, they are still relevant. Meteor impacts have shaped Earth's history. One asteroid ended the age of dinosaurs. An asteroid impact 12,000 years ago, called the Younger Dryas impact, caused massive environmental changes on Earth. And future asteroid impacts are a real risk, which is why agencies like NASA continuously track the asteroids. Now we track only the near Earth asteroids, but at the same time, asteroids may become mining targets, or fuel sources, or stepping stones for deep space exploration. The asteroid belt may shape humanity's future just as it shaped our past. The asteroid belt teaches us that something is very unsettling. The solar system was not designed, it was messy, violent, and unfair. Earth exists not because it was meant to, but because it survived. The asteroid belt is evidence of failed worlds, interrupted destinies, and chance outcomes. A reminder that cosmic history has no guarantees. So, the asteroid belt is not a space obstacle course, it's a fossil record, a failed planet, a memory of chaos, a warning, and a gift. A quiet region of space that whispers, this is how worlds are made and how they almost aren't made. And the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, somewhere between Mars and Jupiter, the solar system's oldest secrets are still orbiting the sun, unchanged and waiting. Do subscribe to The Nerd, and thank you so much for listening.